What did John believe when he saw the empty tomb? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of John on Walking Through the Bible. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to John chapter 20. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 10. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So John chapter 20, beginning at verse 1. Now the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb early, while it was still dark, and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Then she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Peter therefore went out, and the other disciple, and were going to the tomb. So they both ran together, and the other disciple outran Peter, and came to the tomb first. And he, stooping down and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying there, yet he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb, and he saw the linen clothes lying there, and the handkerchief that had been around his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but folded together in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who came to the tomb first, went in also, and he saw and believed. For as of yet they did not know the scripture, that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again to their own homes. In our last lesson, we attempted to harmonize the four gospel accounts of Jesus' trial and crucifixion. We will attempt to do the same thing in lesson 80 with the resurrection accounts. If you would like to listen to the last lesson, which is a bit longer than our standard episodes, you can go to youtube.com/East End Church of Christ and look for lesson 76 under the Walking Through the Bible John playlist. It can also be found at eastendchurch.org under the Media/WTTB English podcast tab. In today's reading, we have the first section of John's account of Jesus' resurrection. It was now the first day of the week, what we call Sunday. Now, from our previous studies of the Gospels, we noted that when Jesus said that he was going to be dead for 3 days and 3 nights, he was not meaning a literal 72 hours, or exactly 3 days. Instead, Jesus was using a figure of speech known as a synecdoche, where the part represents the whole. Jesus was in the grave for part of Friday, all of Saturday, and part of Sunday, parts of 3 days. So, using this figure of speech, Jesus was dead for 3 days and 3 nights. An example of a synecdoche that you might have heard in your own lives is all hands on deck. The phrase doesn't mean for someone to cut off their hands and place all of them on the deck of a ship. No, it is saying for everybody to be on the deck of a ship, where the hand, a part of the body, is used to represent the whole body. Understanding that Jesus is speaking this way will enable us to avoid twisting Scripture in order to try and get Jesus in the grave for 72 hours. So early on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene was coming to the tomb, while it was still dark. The other Gospels mention other women accompanying Mary. Why did John leave them out? Because John's account is going to focus on Mary, an important point to remember when we get to harmonizing the accounts of Jesus' resurrection. When Mary got to the tomb, she saw that the stone had been rolled away, and so she went to get Simon Peter and the other disciple whom Jesus loved, which is the Apostle John. Note, Mary didn't see the angel. She didn't look at the tomb. All she saw was the stone rolled away, and she ran to get the others. When she found Peter and John, she told them that they have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have laid him. The use of the word "we" here tells us that Mary was not alone when she went to the tomb. Now, Mary hadn't seen the empty tomb, or she would have heard the word of the angels about the resurrection. This points us to the fact that she left before the angels appeared. No, she saw the stone moved and assumed that the body had been moved without investigating further. Peter and John had to see for themselves, so they ran to the tomb. They both ran together, although John points out that he outran Peter, something I find personally humorous. By the time they both got there, though, the women were gone, and so were the angels and the guards as well. Since John got there first, he was the first to look into the tomb, though he did not go in. From the mouth of the tomb, John could see the linen clothes lying there, but no body with them. When Peter arrived, he went into the tomb. He saw the linen clothes as well, and the handkerchief that was around the head of Jesus, but it was not lying together with the clothes, but folded together in a place by itself. Once Peter came in, John followed, and he saw and believed. What did he believe? Well, from the neatness of the clothes, he believed that Jesus' body had not been stolen or taken, for why would the clothes be neatly left behind? No, I believe that John is saying that he believed that Jesus had been risen from the dead, but did not connect that with Scripture as of yet. But without Jesus present at the tomb, there was no need for them to stay. So the disciples went away again to their own homes, in other words, to where they were staying while in Jerusalem. We'll continue with this story, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of John chapter 20, verses 11 to 18, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time.
Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.